We have a new game and it's out today. Every year on April Fools we make a new game. It started with B&B Nightmare and then we did Demon Van. And this year I wrote The Chase. The Chase is a cooperative or solo tornado hunting game where you take control of 4 chasers and your goal is to hunt a tornado. If you're anything like me, you grew up in the 90s and 2000s, which I think was the heyday for disaster movies. We had Twister, we had Dante's Peak, Volcano, Deep Impact, Armageddon. There were so many of them, and they were so much fun. I wrote this game to be played in about 30 minutes. You don't need a ton of stuff to play. You just need 4 miniatures to represent your chaser crew. You need a 3x3 playing area, which if you're watching our channel, you probably have plenty of terrain. The game is played over a series of 3 phases, starting with the chase phase, where you'll activate each of your chasers one at a time. You'll perform 2 actions with them, and the action list is pretty simple. You can perform a focus action, which gives you a reroll, a use equipment action, a move action, or a take cover action. That's it. You make a skill check with 2d10 dice, and you're just looking to beat your skill stat on one of those dice. Here's the cool thing though. After you activate a single chaser, the tornado will immediately activate, and you'll alternate between chaser and tornado throughout the round until all chasers have activated. After that, you'll move on to the data phase. But during the tornado's activation, it may move around the table, destroy pieces of terrain, shoot debris out at you, and do all sorts of crazy stuff. You can also get sucked into the tornado too, and you can end up shooting your chasers across the map and killing them. All sorts of crazy stuff can happen. It's unpredictable weather, and I think it replicates it really well on the tabletop. The last phase of the game is called the data phase, and it's where you calculate proximity data, which you gather if you're a certain distance from the tornado, and any other data that you gathered throughout the round. If you hit the required amount of data that you rolled at the beginning of the game, then you win. A game lasts for 6 turns to keep it simple. And once you hit turn 6, if you don't have the data, then the tornado dissipates and you gotta go all over again. I tried to keep it pretty simple. I didn't want to get the game bogged down with any really complicated tables or crazy stuff, but the book does have a couple of optional tables in the back for crazy weather effects and also enhanced destruction too. So if the tornado takes out a building, maybe it hits like a propane tank or something and explodes. I also spent some time sculpting some minis for it, which you can get as digital STLs. We'll probably do print on demand or physical in the future, but for now, if you have a 3D printer, you can just print as many of them off as you need. We also did a vehicle too, which is optional in the game, but it adds a bit of cool flair. When it comes to minis, I really love sculpting non-combat stuff, people without weapons. You know, I spend so much time sculpting minis that have guns and swords and all sorts of crazy stuff, so it is honestly a really nice pace to just sculpt some like regular people. Tried to make them look as dynamic as possible while kind of maintaining that like 90s Storm Chaser vibe. So that kind of gives you the lowdown of our 2024 April Fool's game, The Chase. It was a lot of fun to make. Honestly, all these games are a ton of fun to make. I want to give a quick shout out to our buddy Matt Burns, who helped me playtest some of this. He made some amazing suggestions for some of the mechanics and all that kind of stuff. I also want to thank Connor and Doug, who also helped me playtest. They gave me some great feedback. And Corey Sullivan, who wrote Void Cowboys, which kind of inspired some of the non-combat game ideas that I've had floating around in my head for the past month or so. I hope you pick it up. I hope you enjoy it. What do you think the next disaster game should be? Let us know in the comments below.